Okay, I have a bunch of tabs open that I want to close, so I'm like, I guess I need to like compile all these into a video. I'm gonna try to go through it quickly, and I'm not gonna have the camera on me because I have all these tabs. I'm looking. It's just easier to. It's distracting if I can see myself moving around and. So let's see here. Let me get this going. So some synchronicities, some gematria. So let's. So I had a synchronicity with someone out here I was watching. They referenced Amos 5. Amos is the name of my first love in high school. Yeah, I was a sinner. Okay. And 5, my twin flame was born at 5:55. Okay. And then with the 5:50, okay, 5 meaning grace, 5:55. I have yet to find that. I thought it was on this site, but I keep looking for it, and I'm sure it's on there. I just can't find it because I remember it was the 5th one down, and I found 555, which means grace, and so on and so forth. So I just have yet to find that one. But so Amos 5, and I'm reading through it, and that's the chapter in the Bible where, and I don't know if it's in other places, but they mention the Pleiades and Orion. And I have two very specific, and this was before, I just recently just read Amos because of, like I said, I was watching a brother out here who referenced Amos 5. So I just, it's a pretty short book, so I just read the whole thing, and I'll share some of that on another video when I get into some Bible verses that I want to share, but for now I just want to touch on all the synchronicities and stuff so I can close all these tabs. And so I'm reading through it, and they mention, okay, Orion and Pleiades, and I believe Ursa might be the only other one they mention in the Bible besides, like, sun, moon, whatever. But I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I don't know the Bible. I just go to it as I'm called. It's really just for confirmation and clarity of things God gives me that I just want confirmation and clarity on. So so let me share the synchronicities I had before I even read this, okay? And this was last year, right around this time, maybe August, September. I remember it was warm, it was summertime, and that's why we went to this park in particular. And because my son's autistic, it has a chain link fence, it's this little play yard area that's all fenced in, and they have like this fake little rock thing kind of climb up, like that's like steps and stuff. It's a cool little, and small, and so it's easy for me because I have, chronic fatigue and all that, and he runs me ragged. So it was nice and shaded because it had these big old, I think, eucalyptus trees or whatever. So the other part that's right near our house, the play yard isn't as well shaded, so it was a hot day, but we wanted to get out and do something. So first time we went to this park, and the only time actually. I don't think but usually it's just, we usually just go to the one that's right behind our house. But so, like I said, it was hot, so we decided to go there. It was just all the timing of it. Okay, so, and mind you, this was a year ago with this, and then the vision with the bull. I think that was maybe very early summer. I shared that on my channel. I can't remember the name of the video. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened during that time. Anyway, It was several months ago. So let me share the Orion synchronicity with this park. So we're in this play yard, and my son stooped down, and the sun's shining a little bit where we are a little dappled. Okay, so I can see very clearly. It's a very it's a light green, like those play tops that are kind of spongy and whatever. And it's like light green, like a moss green, light seafoam kind of green color. Light green. Okay, so I can see very clearly, very well, this little scorpion. And it's near my son's foot, but I'm like, I don't want to kill things and this and that. And I know I'm like, okay, if he goes to move anymore, I'll grab my son really quick. But before he even had a chance to get, I mean, it was pretty much right close to right at his heel, okay, which was very significant, okay. And it was like it just came out of nowhere. I'm right there next to my son. He stoops down for a second, and you know, I have a very close watch on my son because he's autistic. Okay, so I'm just right there by his side usually. This was pretty safe though because it was all fenced in, right? But I'm still right there. And I say usually because if we're in the house, you know, we have gates and locks and all that, and he can play in his room safely, and I don't have to be right there next to him. But, you know, he doesn't know about cards and all that. So anyway, I see the scorpion, and it's not a full-grown one, but, you know, it's a northwestern scorpion. It's not a desert one. I've seen those. Yeah, not one of those huge, like, Muscle Beach scorpions, but I have seen the ones around here mature. When I lived at my grandfather's house, actually, after he had passed away, where I conceived my son on 11/1/11, there was a bunch of scorpions. Oh, I think that's Scorpio time, isn't it? Yes, it is. Huh, very interesting. In the garage, for whatever reason, there's like this two little like cement stairs, little cement landing, right, where, you know, you could go into the house from the garage. And I just lived there for like maybe 5 months while they were transitioning to sell the house and all that. And so I was bringing some of my stuff into the garage, or bringing garbage out, but whatever. When I first moved in there, I think I went to go clean, sweep up right there, and there was like all these dead scorpions, all dead too. I don't know how they would all like get trapped and not be able to get out, or what, you know, and if they were poisoned or something, maybe they could have been, you know, I don't know. And then they all just, maybe they got into ate some rat poison, who knows, I don't know. But I just found it to be very odd that there was like, oh my gosh, there must have been like 24 scorpions. It was ridiculous. And they're all these full-grown dead, you know, not huge because they're the northwestern brown scorpions, you know, but so this made me think back to that. Okay. Now I just now made the connection with it being in the sun being in the signs of Scorpio when I conceived my son, and then having those scorpions be there. Okay. And then I have a Scorpio Sag cusp rising. It's like, depending on the site, some say 1 degree Sag, some others say the very last degree of Scorpio, whatever that would be, 23, 28, whatever it is. So, and I didn't know that until when I went to go to another site to look up my chart, just like last year or whatever. But so there's this scorpion, okay, but my son takes off, you know, just bolts and runs around the little play yard. So as soon as he takes his first step and he's clear, I go stomp on the scorpion, because my instinct, and I was just like, this is a play yard where kids are, and okay, so this is dumb scorpion, right? So should have known better to stay hidden and not try to come out and be where we were. So you know, I stepped on it, which I usually wouldn't do, you know, out in the wild or whatever, but being where we were and children play there. And okay, so I do that. And okay, so mind you, like I said, it's green, the top of the play yard, the surface of the ground there is like the spongy top, and it's like painted, or not painted, but it's the foam, it's flat, but it's like looks like asphalt, but it's kind of spongy, right, for the kids. So it's this light green, and the bottom soles of the bottoms of my shoes that I'm wearing, the tennis shoes, are bright light, like fluorescent pink. Okay, so, and I have perfect eyesight and everything like that, and aim, very, you know, athletic, all that. So I know I just stepped on this scorpion, and I scrape it because I know they have a that exoskeleton, but it was kind of a, not a brand new baby one, but not too mature, so maybe didn't have too okay, so anyway, I crunch it, I think, or so I thought, right? And the natural thing we do is we look and we see the spider smushins, you know, spider squeezins, whatever, on the, you know, and I look and there's no mark, and I should definitely be able to see, you know, scorpion juice in, you know, a leg or something or whatever, you know, there's nothing on the, so I'm like, well, the bottoms of my shoes are very textured, you know, they're like running shoes, whatever, but it's fluorescent pink, okay, but they're very textured, so I thought, oh god, it might be stuck in there, and so I checked the bottom of my shoe. There's nothing in there. There's nothing on the ground. There's nothing on the bottom of my shoe. And I would be able to see it very well. I have perfect eyesight. I'm looking very close, right where I stepped on it, right up. I mean, it would at least be on, and the area around it, like, it couldn't have taken off or what, like, okay, so I'm thinking this is a Mandela thing or whatever. Then I start getting synchronicities about how we're allowed to step on the scorpions of the world. And I just heard that again from another brother I was watching, our sister out here, who mentioned that again. So, okay, so mind you, now I just read Amos 5 in completion. And so that relates back to the scorpion, okay, that I stepped on and killed, but then it wasn't there. So I am like tripping out about this all day, but I'm just like chalking it up to like, it's just that the veil, it's disappearing, you know, when we start waking up and we start seeing, God starts showing us things, we're ready for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So now we're putting the dots together, you know, connecting the dots. And then just recently, a few months ago, when I was reporting on the chemtrails that had all this filament drift on this particular day, when I saw this really shiny, bright, like silvery, mercury silver, shiny, I thought it's just a plane, right? But it was in the sky for a good 10, 15, like, you know, I blinked several times and it was right there, and it was just in one spot, and it just like looked like it got bigger and brighter, like the silvery mercury, okay, bigger and brighter, and then as soon as it was there, it was gone, like I said. But 10-15 seconds if you count 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 7 1000, 8 1000, 9 1000, 10 1000. So I would say good 10-15 seconds it was right there, and I just happened to be looking up and be out in my backyard at that time. There's planes all over that day, and so this is when all the filament drift was coming down, the white thread like stuff, okay, and not webs. And there were webs that I can tell the difference too, and these were just coming down straight out of the sky, okay, not from a treetop, like falling down straight from the top, and you could see it all over everything. I didn't get a video of it. I didn't have my phone out there. I just wanted to relax and be in my backyard with my son. I couldn't even do that. I believe this was before I realized or confirmed that I had Morgellons. That might have been before my dad sent me the microscope. So, but I was very well aware of the chemtrails, okay, but, and the different types and all this. Anyway, so we have the scorpion thing, okay. So I'm out in the backyard, the filament drift, I see this shiny thing as well, the same day, the same time when I'm seeing all the filament drift from all the planes. Okay, then I see the shiny thing, so I assume it's a plane, but I don't hear anything. And for it to be that close, like I would hear the jet, the engine, and it wasn't like it was passing, like it came out of nowhere. It would have come over my shoulder and seen, or come this, no, it was just like it appeared where it was and then disappeared where it was. And it hung in the sky for a good 10-15 seconds, and it just looked like super bright, highly reflective, like titanium, okay? Like these little Morgellons, like these little titanium hexagons that you find that are embedded with the biofilm that's embedded with the Morgellons. Okay, you find them in your dryer. They look like little pieces of glitter, but they're very highly reflective. Tracking them from your shoes and all that. So, don't want to get off on the Morgellons tangent, but so when I was just having miserable symptoms and everything, they're getting so much better. But, you know, several months ago, like I said, I still wasn't, I don't think I knew I had Morgellons at that time. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and I have so many videos on my channel, but it's just to document my journey. So I'm sitting out there and I go, you know, because I'm thinking star seeds and all this stuff. I'm like, I want to know where it come from. Like, do we have some connection with like these star systems, you know, because people call themselves star seeds, like these new age terms or whatever, or I don't want to give things labels, whatever it is. Okay, so I just wanted to understand what it was all about, our connection with the stars and that. Okay, so I just asked God if he could give me a vision, so I could understand. And I closed, as soon as I closed my eyes, it was me. And I've only asked for a vision maybe 3 times, and every time it was just like that. As the instant I closed my eyes, and it was just a simple request of clearly exactly what I wanted to know. And the moment I closed my eyes, I got the vision, and it was just a background of like a reddish orange, the whole background solid red orange, and just the silhouette solid block, not like features of eyes or anything like that, just like a solid block, like silhouette of a bull that was like an indigo blue, like a dark, like a royal blue, and the background was this reddish orange, like I said. So I go to look up the blue bull, and it leads me to like the Greek myth and how I think it was Zeus that disguised himself as a bull, Persephone, and blah blah blah, all that. And then it said something about the star system Pleiades, and I know that the bull, you know, can represent Taurus, right? My brother's a triple Taurus, okay, so, and lo and behold, Pleiades is in, and it's the 7 sisters, so, and it's in the star system of Taurus, okay? The 3 main stars or something like that. So, okay, so there's that. So we have the Pleiades, then we have the Scorpion, okay? I didn't know, I think I might have known about the connection with Orion and Jesus, but I didn't, the Scorpion thing didn't click, okay, until I was getting synchronicities with brothers and sisters out here. A few people, videos that I watched where they mentioned that that we're allowed to step on the scorpions and serpents of the world, whatever it is, whatever the verse is. Don't quote me, I'm not a Bible scholar, don't claim to be anything. I just report as God gives me, synchronicities, and it's just overwhelming confirmations with things. So, and this other, and I didn't realize till just recently that Ursa Major, the Big Dipper, okay, that's the other one that's mentioned in the Bible. I guess those are the only three mentioned in the Bible, I'm not sure. And these are the only three I had: synchronicities, visions, experiences, Mandela effect, whatever. Okay, so these are supernatural experiences that we're having. People want to say Mandela, whatever, because they don't want to surrender to God, I guess. I don't know. Because they can't believe how simple it is, and it's like too good to be true, and they don't value themselves enough or something. But we're not going to get off on that tangent right now either. So the Ursa one, I kept having all these, and again, I just had a recent one, Wendy Bernhard. Wendy is a form of my name, Margaret, Gretchen, Wendy. Okay, and then Bernhard is bear heart. And that was just recently, and months ago when I had this synchronicity with twin flames on my channel, and when I got my couch, whenever that was, I've had that for a while. So went to the thrift store, got a couch, it's Bernard, okay, Bearheart again. My aunt went to Ursuline because they went to private Catholic school, my dad and his siblings. So she went to Ursuline, was the name of her school. Someone who viewed that video, one of the twin flame, it was a twin, I believe I entitled it Twin Flame something, whatever, these synchronicities with all this bear and Ursa. Okay, so, someone named Ursa had emailed me, her name was Ursa, and then, someone who had viewed that video said, you won't believe this, but I'm just so happens that morning or whatever, or the day before, she had just watched this movie before she watched this video of mine, or prior to, not just before, but she was watching The Little Mermaid with her children or her child, and it got stuck right, the DVD got stuck right on freeze frame on the octopus, and her name is Ursa. Okay, so Ursuline, Ursa, all this Bernard, Bear, Ursa, all this Ursa and Bear stuff was coming to me. So, wanted to just get all those done and over with so I could... Okay, so Amos 5, okay, and then 555, my twin is born at 555 in 88, so repeating eights, if you see 888, that's the messianic message. 555 is the message of grace, okay, so, and I'm getting this confirmation from these Gematria sites as well, okay, this is, so I have a dream, I have a synchronicity, I have a vision, I have Gematria, all these things to confirm and reconfirm all these checks and balances, right? I'll try to organize all the links here and stuff. So there's this website, answersingenesis.org, blah, blah, blah. Okay, for whatever reason, it says 818, the Pleiades and Orion, answers in Genesis. Now, it says 818 for whatever reason. I don't know, but I go to, this is just Bill Heydrich, Gematria, so I go to 818. There's only one thing under 818, and the word is this, okay? Terror. Now we can click off of that. Terror, okay? Terror. Now, I am watching, okay, the video that I just posted before this, I watched Joyce Meyer's ministries this morning. And she goes to Mark 12:21. That's my father's name, Mark. And I see 12:21 all the time. You guys, you know, twin flames and stuff, we see these numbers. Okay, so 12:21. A lot of people see that. I've had a dream about gold. God put me in gold. I mean, God put me in the town that's like was the most successful city in all of California as far as the gold rush, okay? Which, you know, we know how that's not of God and divine, but just God put me where all this gold and gave me dreams about gold and all this stuff before, you know, I even knew what he was talking about. So it's just more lining up, just proof of the gold. Okay, so, and we know what golden, just the consciousness, the golden Christ consciousness, because Christos means gold. Chrysos, heliochrysum, okay, sunflower. It's golden sun, heliochrysum. So I go to 12, okay, so she says Mark 12:21. And I was just already looking at 12:21 the night before. So before I even watched her video this morning. And 12:21 is Bezer, okay, or also Bezer. And if you think of embezzlement, okay, so Bezer, B-E-Z-E-R, or Betzer, B-E-T-S-E-R, but Bezer, okay, B-E-Z-E-R. It means gold ore, like O-R-E, gold ore, okay, gold in its raw form. Because you have to melt it down and separate it from the matrix rock and all. Okay, so it's not just in big gold nuggets, right? So, or remote fortress. So there's gold ore or remote fortress. That's what Bezer, and that's related to 12:21, the number 12:21. Now, and if you think Bezer, better, that kind of sounds similar. So another thing I want to mention that was coming to me is the number 613. Now, if you see 613, sometimes you might see 631. But 613 in particular relates to the number of seeds in a ripe pomegranate. It also has spiritual significance, Gematria significance. So, and it's, like I said, it also relates to the number of seeds. Okay, so pomegranates are symbolically used for abundance and God's proliferation and eternal abundance. Okay, so I go to 613. And this is what we have. We have Father of Abundance is the first one. It's 112th prime. So there's also cribs. I have created, wells, folds, which also means sheep. They have right there in parentheses sheep. So but the first, so they only have 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, and the first one is Father of Abundance. So now the next thing, oh, and I was just checking out my name, more meaning for my name. So not only Anna, my name meaning grace, my middle name, which is I go by Anna, but my first name, legal first name, okay, so Chen, so Gret is like great, Gret, and then Chen is the second part of my name, and it means favor, literally means favor, to bend or stoop in kindness to another as superior to inferior. And I'll have to share a story about that. But the meaning of grace, that's what Chen is, charis in Greek, okay? Like charitable, okay, so Chen. It also sounds like clan, or like that's what family is. Clan, clam, chan, or clan. yeah, so looking at everyone as family, and humbling yourself to serve all. Um, you know, someone sees like some homeless person as someone who's inferior. Um, you know, you might have to humble yourself. I had to humble myself, and like, you know, because I see everyone as what if someone disrespects me, I have an anger issue that I keep praying about, and I'll just share the story really quick, and because his name was Mark, which is my father's name. I live kind of on a hub, like it's, you know, it's kind of getting, it's a nice little town, but you know, okay, we have people who are addicted to drugs. There's no judgment, I'm saying. There's people on drugs, homeless, addicted, all this stuff, so they're looking for, usually they go to the library and plug in their phone, but they've tried to be sneaky. This house used to be offices, and so they probably got away with it, and, you know, now it's like, no, mama's here, and this is my space, and don't invade my space. I have no judgment, but don't come on my property and plug in your phone on my, okay, so this is the second time this happened. The first time I didn't cuss, I didn't yell, but I got upset. This second time, and I felt horrible because the guy he could have been my age, younger, older, I don't know. He was very tall, looked young, but just had this, I mean, older, mature man, but had this baby face, and I just felt horrible. I was yelling and cursing at him, okay? And I always feel so gross and dirty, and I have to pray after. That's why I've been praying about anger, okay, because I'm trying to heal and all this stuff. So I said, oh, God, if there's any way that I can be redeemed face to face with that man, if I can just see him at the park one day when I bring my son over there to play, or whatever, see him at the food bank, somewhere at the store, somewhere, just please let our paths cross so that I can be redeemed, and shake that man's hand and apologize. And the next time I was at the food bank, the very next time I was at the food bank, which was like the next week, I see him, I recognize him, I go up, explain that you know, I teach him the lesson like the way Jesus would, okay? It was wrong for me to say it in the way that I said it, and cursing and yelling. And, you know, meth is really, my sister was addicted to that, and prostituting and shooting up, and she overdosed on her birthday, her 41st birthday, which is the age I am. Her name was Christina Marie, died a week before Christmas on her birthday, December 18th. From shooting meth, overdosing, found in a Motel 6 bathtub, right? Just beautiful. That's the devil for you. If you let it, he'll take you all the way down. The next step down. He keeps bringing you lower and lower and lower. God brings you higher and higher and higher. Okay. So it can all be painful. But you know the difference, because the devil brings you lower and lower and lower. God brings you higher and higher and higher. That's how you know who you're running with. And you have to let God burn through your life. That's something that he gave me, I wrote down. You got to let God burn through your life. So it triggered. So God had mercy on me, of course. God's a merciful, loving, forgiving God. And Jesus already died for everything we were going to do before we were even born. He shed blood for that stuff, okay? Before we even knew the sins we were going to commit, the blood was already shed for that. And so his name is Mark, my father's name, okay? I got my prayer answered. I still stood in my truth, but the righteous way, the way God wanted me to do, okay? Which is probably why I was faced with that same exact situation again. I made a video about Archangel Michael warning me. I said something about the utility box is locked and the lattice is nailed shut, something like that. Archangel Michael, something like that's in the title. So You know, you got to submit to God and let God burn through your life. These situations are not easy. You can get a panic attack, throw up, sweat, cry, feel ashamed, feel self-righteous, ego, all go through all the mucky, yucky, yuck feelings. But you just surrender to God, trust in God, and then you see yourself come out of it. You've gained coping skills, you've gained more patience, you've learned more about yourself, and it's beautiful. It's this blossoming and unfoldment, okay? Just like when a flower, the pressure to stay contained, it can no longer resist, and it has to burst open and burst forth, and it can be a very painful process, but it's the most beautiful there is, right? You can't think of anything more beautiful than a blossom, a flower, right? The scent of it, the color, it's so God. But anyway, so covered Chen, we went off on a tangent with that. So that's God's grace, right? Just, you know, all your prayers will be answered. Just ask and you shall receive. And that's also in the book of Amos. It's just anything you ask in my name, you shall have it. It's as simple as that, you guys. But we don't believe that we're worthy. We don't believe that we can have $1 million. Yes, you can. If you do God's will with that $1 million, yes. You can have all the millions of dollars you want if you're doing God's will with it. There's a process you need to go through in order to get to this place, but it can be instantaneous. I believe, but you have to truly believe it in your heart, in your core. You can't just say the words and, you know, that's so you can look like a believer. I want to feel like, I don't care what I look like. I want to feel my belief. So let's see if there's any. Oh, okay. And then this one. Now, Jude and Nathaniel, I'll share that separately, but I had a synchronicity with that. But I'll share that when I'll share some out of the Bible with them. So I'm going to wait on that. So, but I was saying Jesus is just all right with me. I'm like, see, some secular music's okay. It's all right. But I'm like, yeah, Jesus is my dude. I'm like, Maidu. I was like, whoa, I haven't said that since I was like 19 when I took this it fulfilled the archaeology requirement, but it was a Native American art class, and we studied the tribes and the different, all the way back to the ancient Anasazi, Mogollon, Mimbre, Hohokam. Studied all the pottery, the weaving, had to identify. Oh, it was so rich. I loved that. Oh my gosh, if you can study Native American art history, it's so rich. It's just it speaks to my soul, resonates with me so much. So I say Maidu, and I'm like, wait, that's the name of it, a tribe. I know that. I haven't said that in like 20 years. Okay, I'm 41. I took that class when I was 19, and I haven't said that word since then, probably. And it just came out because I said Jesus is my dude, my dude, my dude, my dude. Okay, so of course, right? I'm sorry. This is just, I'm going off here. This is going to be too long, but I got to get all these out so I can close these tabs because my computer is just like perma on. And it starts running slow with videos. So I got to... Okay, so I go to Maidu, and this is just a Wikipedia one because I can't remember the region that they're from in particular. So syncretism is the first thing that, okay, sticks out to me. So they practice, or they believe in syncretism. Okay. So that they're just aligned with anything that's aligned with truth. And they say, well, they pick from different religions. Well, that's a outside view of it. How I see it is they just align with truth. Whatever is aligned with truth, they align with that, and that's true Christ way. It's not about a religion and aligning with everything that religion says. That's why, excuse me, that's where we get into problems. That's where we get into trouble, and problems are arise because now we're just adhering because we want to be a part of a group instead of just aligning with truth and being a part of that group, which may just be a party of one. All right, that's why we don't want to do it. So, Maidu. Now, and they're talking about the Abrahamic religions and stuff, how they, okay, things being revealed, how it relates to different religions and stuff. But the Maidu, oh, let me go back one because I clicked on syncretism. That was the problem. Okay. The Maidu are from, now get this, Northern California, okay, reside in the central Sierra Nevada. That's where I am. And they also reside in the Humbug Valley. That is such a, like, German, like, humbug. Okay, and that's what my lineage on my dad's side. So, it's just so funny, like, that I get Maidu, and it's right in the area of where I live. So, you know, the Maidus, that's my tribe too. They're speaking to me, you know. That's the energy of where I am right now. So that was so cool how that came out like that. So just stuff like that happens all the time. I also wanted to share this really cool thing because I've been trying to break the code on this dream that I had with this, and I've shared it a couple times where, and just briefly, the part where, so there's this pine tree, big like redwood pine, and I'm in the middle of the street, and there's no cars around. My son's over here playing, and I'm right here, and there's this tree, and it just slides down. It's in the middle of the asphalt road, you know, paved road, and it slides over here to my left, and I see it there now, but it leaves this imprint, this outline, silhouette of this like clear gel stuff, and it like how gaseous, like an oasis, gaseous, but a very distinct outline of the tree, where exactly where it was before it slid down, and I see like movement in there, and it's like a plasma, like a clear gel plasma, you know. You can tell there's like there's life and body substance, viscosity to it, okay? And I look closely, and there looks like all these little things that are also clear, like moving, swimming all around, kind of like the Morgellon eye thing that you get when you see all these things flipping around in your eyes. But that's exactly what it looked like, okay? And so I'm watching Scotty Clark, and he's talking about glycoaldehyde, which is the thing you need for RNA to create anything. And he's saying that the plasma from the sun, I'm not quoting him right, you're gonna have to go check out Scott Clark, and he talks about glycoaldehyde, there we go, glycolaldehyde, all one word, glycolaldehyde. So very interesting. When he said that, something clicked with my dream, and I went, oh my goodness, that's the thing I think God was showing me with that tree dream. Because I hadn't gotten to a place where I felt like I really was understanding what God was trying to show me. I still don't quite know, but I think that might have something to do with it, because that really resonated. And whenever something resonates and then a dream pops, it triggers you to remember a dream or something, or a vision or a word or something else, because God's trying to show you syncretism, okay, to give you confirmation, to remind you, to give you more clarity, more discernment. So Okay, wanted to share that. I think I hit all I wanted to share. Oh, one more. So the dream that I had, I can't remember the name of the video. But again, it was another dream where I'm like cleaning up a house, big giant house, hosting people, cleaning up, doing dishes, cooking, keeping everything organized, making sure the wrong people aren't in the house. And okay, so and any of you who do that, but you're not in like that industry, so it's not being incorporated into your dream time, or like me, I'm in isolation. So I've had a lot of these dreams, so it's not coming in from my like work life or whatever. So if any of you are having these dreams and it's not something you do for a living, or it's not something you're not like cooking and cleaning all the time at home and you feel okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with that, your physical 3D reality being incorporated into your dream time. These are dreams being given to you by God because you're a host. Okay, the Lord of hosts, God, Jesus. Okay, the Lord of hosts, because we're hosts, meaning that's what like the government, the priestly class. Okay, we're hosts. We're humble servant. That's what a host is, right? A humble servant. You make sure they have what? Food and hot shower, clean linens, towels, whatever they need. That's why I think I've had so many of those types of dreams. And you're guarding the house and making sure people aren't just anyone just coming in and out. You're making sure things are cleaned up. We feel, like we're hosting these big wedding parties and all. Okay, so you're probably, going to be there ruling with Jesus as one of the humble servants of God, being a host, and your Lord of hosts, Jesus, is going to be right there alongside us, guiding us every step of the way. Any question we have, okay? And then all the others will come to us because we'll be experts in that field, because we'll be taught by Jesus, the Most High, right? The Most High, because our God is the God of love, the God of creation. That's what creation is, love, truth. Okay, that's why our God is the Most High, because it is the one. So, this dream, now back on track. I had this dream that, okay, again, I'm in one of these houses, okay. That's why I got off track, because I'm talking about that, okay. So this was kind of like a more outdoorsy, rustic-y, like cabin-y, but still big old giant house and compound and all these rooms and all, okay. And I'm cleaning up, and there's like always like another divine feminine presence with me, sisterhood presence. And I see my twin in the doorway, and it's like, morning, not too early in the morning, like around 9-ish, 10, something, getting close to like, 10 o'clock kind of a feeling. So not, not too early in the morning, but definitely morning. He's in the doorway, like ready to go somewhere. It's morning. I gotta go. I'm like, where are you going? Or he's like, he said he was late, and I'm like, what time do you have to be there? And he had a backpack on, like shorts and a t-shirt and like shoes to go like on a hike or something, like on a, like on a hike, like he was walking somewhere. And I said, what time do you have to be there? And he says 10:11. And I thought, when I woke up, I thought, that's an odd time for it to be a time of day. Like it sounds more like a date, like 10/11, like October 11th. And then I was doing the numerology for October 11th, and it's going to be 10/11/1. So that's 1/11/1, 11/11. So I'm thinking of the harvest and all these things and the different harvests, and someone says something, blah blah blah, the wine harvest, and I'm like, something goes, when they said wine harvest, something went, I wonder if that's October 11th, because that dream popped in my head, okay, and I went 10/11, I wonder if the wine harvest is on October 11th because they have different harvests, okay, on different days. So they have the wheat, the wine, the grape harvest, the barley harvest, the wheat harvest, and so so I go to look it up, and I go to this website. So I'm looking to see if the wine harvest is on October 11th. Okay, so I just type in October 11. This is exactly how I type it in. October 11, Jewish grape harvest. And I go down to let's see. The Jewish holidays in a box 1. I'll just go forward and see if that was 1, 2, 3. Because I think it was the 5th one down, which would make sense because he was born at 5:55. So, oh yeah, that is why I clicked on it, because it had Wednesday, October 11th in bold on the last line. Okay, so it's Jewish holidays in a box. And it's the 5th one down. He was born at 5:55, okay? In big, bold letters, it says October 11th. But so I'm like, oh my gosh, is it on October 11th? Now, it doesn't say, it says between October 11th and the 13th. But, this was posted on October 11th. No, I'm sorry. That one just had October 11th. There's another one that has an article about it. And it was posted on October 11th. So, very interesting. Trying to see if this was the... Oh, it must have been the first one. Israel Grape Harvest. I'm sorry, now but anyway, so I was just getting confirmation of something about October 11th. And it's going to be... Oh yeah, Texans for Israel. Okay, that's the first one that pops up, and it's 373 and then 8899 for the phone number. So 373, that's 1010, and then you got 88 and 99. So there's numerology all over that. So between September 10th and December 3rd is the grape harvest. It just depends. But, oh man, I wish I could find the one that, oh, and I was finding my twin's name all over the place too. Like, this Gematria one is Yvonne something. Okay, that's the form of my twin's name. It's just, it's ridiculous. This stuff is... I can't make this stuff up. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So, was that the 4th? 5th? Yeah. Maybe it was this one. Oh yeah, that has October 11th on it too. Well, it's the only other purple one. So I know that would have been the one I clicked on. Yeah, okay, so here's another website, okay. So, this is the Jerusalem Post. And this article about the wine harvest is posted October 11th, 2011 at 13:23. Oh my gosh, which is 3:23, which is 55 maritime code. Oh geez, so this was posted 10/11/11, so 11111, which is 5. Oh my gosh, and then 323 is 55. I gotta stop. This is just too much. Okay, I'll try to put all the links in there so you can just see for yourself. Not that I need to prove anything, but not that people will question it. I mean, they'd be like, I don't care. I'm not gonna click on all these links, but I'll put them all on there anyway, just to show you what I'm talking about here. So, and I'll try to explain what the links are so you can understand. What? Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh no, that says Elul right there. Okay, never mind. I'm like, Elul 16th 5777. Elul 16. It says ELUL 16, 5777. That's where we are, right? Alright, so I love you guys. I'm going to leave it at that. I think I got everything in there. Sorry I blabbed on. At the end, I lost that. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about. Yeah, because there was more than just that one website. And the Jerusalem Post article, the article from the Jerusalem Post website was posted October 11th, and it was 2011. And they mentioned Syrah and Shiraz, which are my favorite wines. Not that I drink, but I do have an excellent palate, and those are great, and it just makes sense that those are like two of their best ones, Shiraz and Syrah. They're probably more desert, more hardy desert varietals, which is what, makes sense that I would have resonance with having a taste for that. So, yeah, any of you people who like red wine, not to get drunk, we're not engaging in wickedness, okay? But, those of you who don't have a problem with alcohol, you can get your hands on a good Shiraz or Shiraz or Syrah. Those are excellent. So, I'm just checking to see if I have everything on here that I wanted to share. Oh, the thing about the hosts and the house cleaning and stuff. I was asking God about reincarnation. If it's in the Bible, because there's, back and forth, this, that, whatever. Interpreting Elijah, John and the second coming as Elijah and everything. So I was meditating on that and asking God about, to guide me to something about reincarnation in the Bible, to either confirm it or denounce it, whatever. And I'm not here to argue that. I get my information directly from God, nowhere else. Me and God, one-on-one. And then I get my confirmation from other sources down here on Earth. Okay, so, so I meditated on that question, and I opened up to, what was it? I believe it was Chronicles. And it's talking about Hezekiah coming in to clean out the church. And I was just like, oh my gosh, those dreams, like, whether it's reincarnation or not, it's the spirit of preparedness and emptying yourself out for God, to be prepared for God. That's reincarnated. So, and in the New Age community, I don't know, whatever, in different ways of thinking, people can kind of get wrapped up in that and go down the different rabbit holes, and like past life regression and hypnotherapy and learning and who you were in a past life and clinging onto and claiming that identity can distract you from God and actually, you know, be a detriment and not help exalt you as far as your path with God. And so, yeah, it can take you off your path and distract you. So that was basically the main message about reincarnation, was not to get focused on that, just to focus on God, which is what I just keep getting told. And so I'm passing on that message. And get prepared. Cleaning out your house, your body, your mind, being an empty, clear, clean vessel for God, and just being like that devotee, that super dry sponge that hasn't tasted any moisture, and you know, you're just thirsty for God, and God's the only thing that can quench you. So, and I believe if it wasn't, I believe it was Jude. I believe it was Jude who brought Jude to Jesus, and Jesus said, unless I'm getting it switched with Nathaniel, because I had this synchronicity with this little boy at the grocery store, and his name was Nathaniel, and he was wearing a St. Jude's shirt. So I think it was Jude that was told by Jesus, "Oh yes, I knew you were coming. I saw you under the fig tree." And Jude knew that there was no possible way Jesus could have seen him, because he was way over on wherever, you know. There's no way he could have seen him and could have known that. And he just said instantly, "You are the Messiah. You are him. You are who they say you are. You are him." Because, so that's in the Bible, because we're, you know, and, you know, a devotee, or the dry sponge, or however you want to put it, just to be that. Like, if you were to tell a child like something like that, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you're magical, you're amazing, you have to be Jesus," right? But no, we get older and we're just like, no, we need confirmation and signs and visions and more and dreams, and we still don't believe. You know, I don't ask for anything anymore. If God gives one, I always say I'm open to receiving whatever it is, wherever you want to guide me, whatever I need to learn, however hard it is. Please just, I just pray for clarity so I can see that that is what it is when you're showing it to me, and do what I need to do to learn what I need to learn from that, and then gain the rewards and the benefits, the fruits of that lesson, okay? So let's take heed from that, and be like that childlike belief, when God has shown us so much and performed these miracles of healing and abundance in our life, and it's important to be grateful, but it's also important to have that unwavering faith and believe and know that it's from God, and that as long as you believe, you won't have any hesitation in asking for what you need. And of course, you know, be grateful. We always need to be grateful. And when our life's good, and we're just, remember to give thanks. When you feel good, you're like, "I'm so happy today. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus." Right? Not like, "Oh, my husband was so sweet today. Thank you, God. Praise Jesus. My prayers have been answered. My husband was so sweet and romantic today." Right? My child was so well behaved on my prayers. I can see my prayers being answered. It's miraculous. We have to recognize, okay? Give thanks to the Most High, the one who's making all this possible for us. So I'll leave you guys with that. Blessings to you all, and peace be upon you all.